What up, what up, what up? Welcome back to another great episode of the Sick Podcast, Rams Recap. And boy, it is a big week. It's game day tomorrow. By the time you watch this, hopefully you watch it before the game day tomorrow, but we're facing the Cardinals and we're at the crib. So we need to get this W. But I had to reach out to some of my friends that are out there in the industry that are fans of the rival teams. And I like to bring them on, do a little trash talk, but get a little game preview. Like, I like to see what goes on the other side. What's going on the other side of the fences? Like, what's going on with the drama and all that other stuff, and what's their game plan and what they think their keys to victory is, because we know the Rams are going to win. But let's hit the intro, Sammy.
Turn up your volume. Because you're about to listen to The Sick Podcast. Rams Recap with LaQuan Jones.
They rush forward. Burrow to throw for it. He's hit. He's hit. He's sacked. He throws it away. He flings it away on fourth down. Aaron Donald got there, and you can build that man's statue out SoFi Stadium right now. The greatest of all time on defense does it in the biggest moment of Super Bowl 56.
The sickest Los Angeles Rams podcast. It's gonna be sick.
Woo! Yes, it's going to be sick, and I'm going to be sick to my stomach if we do not come out with a W tomorrow. But before we jump into my venting session and my worries and concerns about tomorrow's game, I want to bring in a very special guest, a very close friend within the fantasy industry that I've met, and we kind of connected on a weird scale to where it's like, I'm a Rams fan and she's a Cardinals fan. So can we bring in Kelly in Phoenix on Twitter, and she's also part of the Sick Podcast team where she handles the Cardinals. And Kelly, please welcome. Vibes are vibing. What's going on?
Vibes are vibing. Man, this is so exciting. I love these crossover episodes. I've done a couple of them over the years, and it's really fun. So thank you for having me.
Absolutely. I love to do the little DC Marvel crossover, because that's kind of how it feels like, being that you're a Cardinals fan. We're in the same division and we have a game tomorrow. Like, this is insane.
I know. It's wild. And I was telling you before we started recording, I feel like it puts me in this really bad spot because I want to cheer for the Cardinals, but I also don't want to do anything positive to help out the Seahawks.
Yes.
Because the Cardinals win helps the Seahawks. So, ugh.
I find that so funny too, because I always wonder, I was like, do Cardinals and Seahawks fans hate each other just as much as Rams hate 49er fans and vice versa? Like I have no issues with Cardinals fans. Like, I actually find you guys cool. Like, I've said this off mic before we jumped on. Like, I have no real beef with the Cardinals fans. Like, I love Greg Dortch. I did a whole campaign for fantasy for him before the season. And again, it's Rams first, but I just don't have any issues with you guys. Like, you guys might be, I would say, second best, obviously the Rams being the number one fan base out of the West, but You guys are cool. You guys can sit in the second spot.
I think it's because a lot of Arizona fans are very bandwagony, very hot and cold. So there's not as much hardcore fan base as you find in like Seattle, for instance. That's one of the most annoying stadiums on the planet.
Hey, I don't want Seahawks fans coming on here beating me up about what you said.
Send all the hate to me at Kelly in Phoenix. But yeah, I think that's why we're very go with the flow. There's so many people that come here to retire, that come here to Phoenix to vacation. Yeah. So you'll see jerseys just random. Aren't you my neighbor? Why are you wearing that jersey? Oh, because my favorite team's in town and it's some other team. So
wow. I mean, look, it's going to be an amazing game tomorrow. The vibes are going to be vibing. I'm going to make sure that I can make my way there somehow. Like, I already have other plans tomorrow, but I might have to. The Rams are in town. It's Rams house, so I need to show up and support. So, Kelly, I got to ask you, what is your expectations of this game, though? Like, do you think it's going to be one of those hard battle division games that, the Cardinals and Rams have history? Like, it's always been one of those games, like, the Rams might win some, the Cardinals might, win some as well, but it's always one of those games where it's like, you don't know who's going to win. So what are the vibes for you tomorrow?
I think it is going to be a very hard fought matchup. I can't see this Cardinals team going down without a fight. I mean, they've already gone down. There's
Yeah.
nothing to play for necessarily other than pride at this point. And yeah, I think they're going to come out swinging, and it's going to be a really entertaining game.
Hopefully it's not swinging too hard because we need this win. Like we honestly need. Like I just don't want to stress for the next 2 weeks. Like I just kind of just want to get this win. Like a gentleman's loss. Like one of those things. Like is that a thing that we do in football?
I mean, it could be. It should be.
Yeah, I mean, like
Let's
there
fight it
should be
out
no.
until the very end, and then you win by a field goal.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Look, I'm down with that. It could be literally what we saw last night. It could literally be 6-3 with the Seahawks and Bears. It could be like that same way. Like, I'm okay with ugly wins. Like, that's how we beat the 49ers. It was one of the ugliest wins of the season that we had. So I'm like, okay. But tomorrow, your expectations really what it sounds like you're chilling. It's cool, calm, and collected. You're watching the game win or lose.
Yeah, just chilling, watching the game, cheering for my team, hoping mostly just to see some individual play, of course.
Great
I've got
torch.
some bets going. We want to see some we want to see some specific players for fantasy. You got a few championships on the line, so you know.
Listen, I want to talk to you about Greg Dortch because you were one of the people that were right there when Greg Dortch, like the first brick of the castle of Dortch
Yeah.
being built, and like you see the talent. The guy is one of those explosive players. He's one of the slot wide receivers that gets so much separation. Him and Kyler seem to have that type of chemistry. But why aren't we getting more Greg Dortch, Kelly? Why?
Because the receiving room is crowded, that's why. But you can see when they do put him in that he performs. So there's that. When we see a little falter with Michael Wilson or even Marvin Harrison Jr., we've seen him falter a bit. They need to come out. They need to regroup. They put in Greg Dortch, and he does the thing every time.
Every time. Just give him the ball. I don't care if it's a jet sweep. Just give him the ball so he can create. Like it's one of the most frustrating things. And like
Yeah.
we talked about Greg Dortch all summer long, and then the expectations for Marvin Harrison Jr. And it's like we're not actually seeing that chemistry be consistent between Marvin Harrison Jr. and Kyler Murray. I mean, like, what's going on, Kelly? Like, I need to know what's going on in the clubhouse.
Yeah, it's widely talked about. Kyler Murray and Marvin Harrison Jr. have both spoke out publicly about this. Kyler saying that he's not where he wants to be. Marvin Harrison Jr. saying that he's not where he wants to be, not location wise,
Yeah,
performance wise,
yeah.
chemistry wise. They both love being Arizona Cardinals. I don't think that's the issue at all. They just need to find that rhythm. I think Kyler found that rhythm with Michael Wilson. They had a lot of off time together prior to Marvin Harrison Jr. joining the team. And I think it's just going to take time. So I hope to see that same bonding over the off season that we saw with Michael Wilson, just hanging out together,
Yeah.
passing the ball together, getting familiar, being friends. I don't think
Getting
they get
breakfast
that.
together. I mean, like we've seen that work
Yeah.
for the Rams. I mean, Cooper Kupp, Jared Goff. I mean, Matthew Stafford and Cooper Kupp. Like you have breakfast with the guys, so you end up building that chemistry and you perform at a high level. I mean, honestly, Michael
Mhm.
Wilson must have been the only one invited because it's not happening with any of the other guys. And Trey McBride, obviously.
Trey McBride. That's another interesting topic, but Kyler has been heard saying that Trey McBride will get a touchdown
When
before
my
the
I'm out
season's
of the playoffs,
end.
Kelly. I don't look. My fantasy teams that have Trey McBride, they're done. They're out. I have no patience for guys that are not going to find the end zone. And you love Trey McBride because the volume he's getting, the way he
Volume.
performs
Yep.
after getting the catch. Like he's one of those guys that you're like, he deserves a touchdown every single week. What in the world? Like, there's so many questions that I have for you, Kelly. Like, I know your boots on the ground in Phoenix
Yeah.
with the Bird Gang. Like, I just need to know, like, I had so much high expectations for your offense. Like, I'm like, Greg Dortch, Kyler Murray's a top 5. Oh my God, Michael Wilson's a sleeper. Marvin Harrison Jr., a top prospect. He went in the first round, Kelly. And you guys, what do you think it is, though? Let me ask you that. First question, what
There's
do you think it is?
there's still a lot of weak spots in our O-line. I think that's the biggest problem by far.
Mm.
A lot of people want to blame Kyler's height. I don't think
Hey, short
that.
kings over here, man. No
I think
height,
that
no height jokes.
whenever I hear those height jokes, I actually feel like, did you even watch the play? I think it was poor choices when he makes these really poor choices of just, you remember that game, what was it, 500 or 500, and you would throw the football and whoever you would call out, it's worth 100, and everybody tries
Oh,
to catch
yes.
it. Like, I swear to you, I feel like there are times that Kyler Murray's like, okay, I don't have anybody to throw it to, 500, and just like bombs it to nowhere. That has nothing to do with height. That's just poor decision making.
Yeah,
Um,
a lot of
but
hero ball, I
a
would
lot of
call it.
it.
Yeah.
The O line though, for sure. When we have a healthy and performing O line, even if they're not the best in the league, there's a far better Cardinals team overall.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Because honestly, I go back to earlier in the season. Like you guys had your ups and downs, but what remained the focus was that Kyler Murray was playing strong, good football. Like the decision making, he was above average there, and
Mhm.
then things just started to feel a little rocky down the road. And like James Conner, I haven't mentioned his name yet, and you guys have Trey Benson. I'm waiting to see him get his chance and take the keys and go away with it. But you guys just signed James Conner
Yeah.
for another couple years. So it's like, what do we do there for fantasy managers out there, Kelly? Because I'm one of them. I need Trey Benson to be a starter like now.
I don't think you're going to see that anytime
Oh
soon.
no, that's bad news.
I mean, they do play interchangeably. We've even seen DJ Dallas playing quite a bit as of
Wow.
late. But James Conner is the number one running back, and he's got the numbers to prove it.
Yeah.
So I have some of this stats. I don't know if you ever look at the weekly capsules from NFL that they send
Yes, I
out.
love those things.
Oh my gosh, it's my very favorite thing because I like to look at trends.
Yeah.
But this would be James Conner has had a touchdown in 5 of his past 6 primetime games. This would be his 4th game in a row in primetime with 110 or more scrimmage yards. So
This
he
guy's
likes
balling.
primetime.
Lights, camera, action, prime time,
Like
baby.
camera action. As long as he's healthy and ready to go, I don't see
Yes.
any issues.
I mean, look, he seems to be trending in the right direction to play. And
Mhm.
honestly, it ain't no secret. Like we cannot stop the run. We've put on display with Saquon Barkley running for 500 yards on us, and he probably was going to run all the way back to Philly with us. Like that's how far and how long he's been running on us. So he's probably still running up the score now. But anyway, more so looking at James Conner, he's a huge threat now, and then the heck of a season that he's having, and like we were knocking on wood all summer, like please just stay healthy. Like please just
Yeah.
give us one full season, and I think he's going to do it. And I think that's why they paid him because he's shown durability, he's shown reliability. And when you give him the ball, the Cardinals are a much stronger offense when that run offense is top tier. When you're at the top of the table, I'm scared. You know what I mean? As a Rams fan, like, God, we got to face them and they're going crazy right now. Like, that's frustrating. But I'm still confident we come out with a win, Kelly.
Yeah, of course you are, as you should be. I mean, you definitely should be. I was looking at some of your stats too. I mean, you've got Kyron Williams. He's on fire too. He's had a rushing touchdown in 4 of his past 5 games. That's nothing to sneeze at. And
No,
he
not
had
at all.
that's his career high rushing touchdowns right now. So
Absolutely. Kyron is the dude. He's the RB1. I made my apologies saying, Blake Corum could be competing. But honestly, now what I accepted and what I want is them to run a 1-2 punch. I think Kyron Williams and Blake Corum, they deserve that same timeshare as a Bijan Robinson or Tyler Algier. I'm not asking for a David Montgomery or Jahmyr Gibbs, but I'm just asking for the floor, Like,
yeah.
let's get them both involved so therefore they could be the 1-2 punch and it could be a slingshot to the defense where Blake Corum just boom punches you in the face with it. Like that's how I see us being so successful. And like our rushing attempts have increased since that Saints game. And I'm not going to say that, we have friends of the podcast like McVay or Les Snead listening, because I was screaming a week before that. We need to run the ball. That's it. That's the only agenda. And like, honestly, we're seeing the results of that. We're seeing a more productive offense of just Kyren Williams just being Kyren Williams. And that's all we need. I mean, the fumbles, yeah, we need to get that underhand, tighten up, we'll be okay, but Blake Corum should be involved just based on how talented he is.
I agree with you 100%. As far as you want to talk about the offense, Puka Nacua has been, an unstoppable force. I don't think anybody necessarily expected that right off the bat, but now where are we, season 2, and he's like still doing it.
Yeah, I knew Puka was back. Like after he was recovering from that injury, he came back in the Vikings game and he had that beard and like the hair was all shaggy and long. Like that was the caveman game. Like that was letting me know that he just locked himself in a room, watched film and recover, watch film and recover, watch film and recover. That's why I'm like, this dude didn't see daylight for weeks. Like he was just in recovery, just watching film. Because when he came back in that Vikings game, oh my God. Like I was nervous for every hit, but no, he just kept going. Like he played an amazing game, like over 100 yards. Like Puka is literally that dude. Like he gives me that juice again. Like he gives me that feeling of like when Todd Gurley was going crazy or when Marshall Faulk was back there going nuts. Like he gives me that feeling, and that Isaac Bruce's and the Torrey Holt's, his name is going to be up there. Like he gives you that excitement to watch these games. Like that's exactly how I felt with the Triple Crown with Cooper Kupp as well. Like Kelly, I'm getting all excited about my guys. Like you like I'm going for a mile a minute right now. But Kelly, I mean, honestly, look, there's a big game tomorrow, right? So honestly, with the playoffs in hand, and you guys are out of the playoffs, and I don't want to open up a Band-Aid with Bryce Young and all that. We'll leave that in the past. We're past that. But what are you looking for next season? Or should I say this offseason? Is there any changes, any additions? Like, how do you want this team to come out week 1?
Well, I think Cardinals fans knew that this was a rebuilding season. I think what do they say? It takes 2 years to do like a good rebuild is probably the average. So this was year 2 of a rebuild, and to have them playing so well, even year 1, we're like, wait, what is happening with these young guys?
Why do we do this?
And then this year we're like, oh my gosh, they're even better because we're building on it. I would expect to see a lot of our resources going towards that O-line, as I mentioned, and even defense, because the offense is pretty stacked. We have heard rumors and rumblings that there could be some looking into a quarterback situation. We're 6 years with Kyler Murray and nothing to really show for it. So
it's a tough division, though.
Yeah,
I'll give you that.
It really is, especially when I don't know that he's ever really had all the pieces. He's a good quarterback, but has he ever really had all the pieces? I don't know. But does any team ever really have all of the pieces either?
I mean, the Chiefs apparently do 15-1. I'm like, how? Like they the only ones with the script? Like, what's going on? Like, come on. Honestly,
LQ, I feel like that is so much luck.
Yes.
Luck.
Like it got to be witchcraft or something. Like it cannot be literal just winning football games. Because how? Like, huh? 15-1?
It was only this last game where they actually played football and did something.
Yeah, they pulled away. Like
yes.
I honestly expect. I was like, they're probably gonna beat them like 7-14 or something stupid like that. Like I'm like I don't know, like 10-14. But no, they pulled away. I'm like, okay,
they did. They pulled away. That was the first game that we really saw that happen. Otherwise, they set the record. Didn't they set a record for the most games won by
one possession?
By one possession, yeah. But on the flip side, the Steelers. Everybody's like, oh my gosh, look at these Steelers. They're just killing it. Sorry, Sam. But
I'm still telling her.
It really was telling on the Steelers side.
Yeah.
once they're up against Kansas City, who's only been winning by one possession, and the Steelers have been out there winning, except to Baltimore. And then, I mean, it was telling. I think it was telling.
Definitely. I mean, I don't want to get into Steelers talk. So, Sam, if you're
Yes.
listening, earmuffs.
Right.
That secondary is pretty bad. And I think, when you have Xavier Worthy, you have D-Hop, and you have even Juju running distraction or decoy, running TikToks in the middle of the field, whatever he's doing. I just feel as though you still have Patrick Mahomes back there, and he's going to pick apart a secondary that's kind of suspect. So it's kind of wild that, we have to worry about seeing the Chiefs in the Super Bowl.
Yes.
Like, as a Rams fan, I feel as though I'm confident enough to say, hey, we're going to go far in the playoffs. We're going to go to that NFC championship game. If it's the Eagles, Lions, whoever the case may be, we're going to the bowl.
I think any team should feel confident going up against Kansas City because it's there. It's there for the taking. Yeah. Somebody just has to take it.
We just got to watch that Bills game over and over and see what they did and see how they were able to come out with a W, because I just don't understand how they're 15-1 and it's like they should have lost so many games, but it is what it is. I digress. Let's get back to your Cardinals because Kelly, I mean, look, we already established it's going to be a cool, calm, collected day. You watching the game on the couch, all done up, probably sipping on some wine and just enjoying win or loss. Like, it's going to be a chill Sunday for you, while I'm going to be freaking out, boots on the ground, getting more grays in my hair, hoping that we get this win because I'm nervous. I'm literally nervous because this feels like, I don't want to say it's a trap game, but it feels like a game that we should just handle business and just get it done and move on. It's a division game. It's the Cardinals. They still have a smack you in the mouth run game. They still have Kyler Murray that, makes some bonehead decisions, but also he uses his legs and he gets light and he gets gone. So it's one of those things that, Kelly, I'm asking you, should I be calm? Should I just be going into this game like you?
I would be a little nervous. I mean, you also have an offensive coordinator who's kind of fighting for his life right now. Nobody here in Phoenix is a Drew Petzing fan, so
that's good to know. I didn't know that.
It's lots of chatter around what in the heck is happening here. This is not the right pick for us. So I'm sure he's going to be putting on his best performance as well. But I mean, I hate to say it. I think you can pull out the win. And I would I hate it. We go back to that friendly agreement because anything that hurts the Seahawks is good for me.
Yeah, absolutely. Same. I mean, look, I'm good with a win tomorrow, and then I'm good with a win in week 18, and then we ride into the playoffs. Now, my concerns is that we'll get the Packers. I rather the scenario that we get the Vikings or even the Commanders, but Packers, you know what? I'm not too worried because we almost beat them earlier in the season. They beat us, but we almost beat them. And I think them almost beating us almost beating them without Cooper Kupp, Puka Nacua, like we didn't have the full forces with a backup O-line as well.
Right.
We might can do some things to them.
I think that would be the best case scenario for you as well. I would want that.
Yeah, I would definitely want the Vikings though, because like I said, that caveman game with Puka, we might have to get him back for the playoffs for that. But definitely, Kelly, it's been amazing. I don't want to take up too much of your time on this beautiful Friday. It's not even beautiful Friday, actually. It's like pouring rain here in LA. But Kelly in Phoenix on Twitter, and please let the folks know what you got going on. What's next? What are you working on?
Yeah, I record an episode or two every week of the Sickest Arizona Cardinals podcast here on the Sick Podcast Network. So you can check those out. I think we're planning on just simulcasting this one. I'm mailing it in a little this week.
Let's go. I love that.
But yeah, that's what I'm up to. Still busy with Women of Fantasy Football. Looking for a job. Why not use this platform?
Absolutely.
If you need a marketing VP or director, hit me up.
Hit her up. Tap in, folks. Kelly in Phoenix on Twitter, all social media platforms. Make sure you guys tap into the podcast, the Sick Podcast, Arizona Cardinals, Kelly in Phoenix. And then look, make sure you guys like and subscribe to the episode. It's your boy LQ, Mr. Real Deal Fantasy HQ. It's the Sick Podcast, Rams recap. See you guys next week.
And that's a wrap. Hope you don't miss us too much until next time. Follow the Sick Podcast Rams Recap with LaQuan Jones on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Google Play, and Apple Podcasts.